Hello everyone! A 500 million Russian convoy is crossing the Crimean Bridge right now. Just seconds later, a massive explosion rocks the entire area. Military experts and civilians are stunned. Stay with us as we break down exactly what happened, why it matters, and how this could change the course of the conflict. You won't believe the scale of this event. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are covering a shocking event in Crimea that has captured global attention. A 500 million Russian convoy carrying military equipment and supplies was crossing the Crimean Bridge. This bridge is a critical strategic route connecting Russia to the Crimean Peninsula. The convoy, consisting of dozens of armored vehicles, trucks, and support units, was making its way carefully across the bridge. Eyewitnesses reported seeing long lines of military vehicles moving in formation. Suddenly, moments after the convoy had fully crossed the central span of the bridge, a massive explosion erupted. The blast sent smoke and debris into the sky, causing chaos and panic. Local authorities and Russian military units scrambled to respond. Early reports suggest that the explosion may have damaged parts of the bridge, potentially disrupting logistics and supply lines. Analysts are calling this one of the most daring and impactful attacks in recent months. The timing, scale, and precision of the strike have raised serious questions about security measures in the area. The world is now watching closely as experts try to assess the consequences. In this video, we will break down every detail of the convoy, the explosion, the damage, and what this could mean for the ongoing conflict. Make sure to stay tuned for the full breakdown in the next sections. The Crimean Bridge, also known as the Kerch Strait Bridge, is one of Russia's most important supply routes. It connects mainland Russia directly to the Crimean Peninsula. This route allows Russia to move troops, weapons, and essential supplies quickly. The bridge has been heavily guarded since its construction, with military checkpoints and constant surveillance. Despite these precautions, the recent attack has exposed vulnerabilities. Experts believe that the explosion was planned with precision. The scale of the blast indicates that high explosives were likely used. Satellite imagery and initial drone footage show black smoke rising from multiple points on the bridge. Civilians nearby reported hearing loud detonations that shook buildings and caused vehicles to stop suddenly. Emergency services rushed to secure the area and tend to the injured. Russian officials are remaining tight-lipped about the total extent of damage. Analysts suggest that if the bridge is partially destroyed or blocked, it could delay military operations in Crimea. The attack also sends a strong psychological message, demonstrating that even heavily defended infrastructure is not invincible. Many are now questioning the effectiveness of current security protocols. Governments around the world are closely monitoring the situation. Military experts say that such attacks could become more frequent if tensions escalate. The implications for regional stability are serious, and both Russia and Ukraine are carefully assessing their next moves. In the coming days, more detailed information is expected to emerge from the scene. The impact of the explosion on Russia's logistics has been immediate. Military analysts are warning that this could delay key operations in the region. Supplies meant for frontline units are now stuck, and armored reinforcements may be rerouted. Drone footage shows vehicles scattered along the bridge, with fire consuming some of the trucks. Russian engineers have been deployed to assess structural damage, but it may take days before the bridge is fully functional again. The explosion has also raised security concerns along other critical supply routes. Officials in Moscow are reportedly reviewing all strategic infrastructure for vulnerabilities. Meanwhile, social media is flooded with videos and images from civilians witnessing the blast, capturing the fear and panic in real time. The psychological impact on both troops and civilians cannot be underestimated. The sudden destruction of such a high-value convoy demonstrates that even heavily protected areas are susceptible to targeted attacks. Military experts emphasize the importance of rapid response and repair, as the bridge serves as the main corridor for essential supplies, including fuel, ammunition, and personnel. International observers are closely watching the situation, evaluating the broader implications for the conflict. In the coming hours, analysts expect more reports on the casualties, structural damage, and how this event will influence Russia's military strategy moving forward. The entire region remains on high alert, awaiting further developments. Eyewitness accounts from the nearby towns describe a scene of chaos and confusion. People heard an initial explosion, followed by smaller secondary blasts, likely triggered by fuel and ammunition from the convoy. Cars stopped on nearby roads, and residents took cover in basements and shelters. First responders worked frantically to rescue any survivors and extinguish fires. Hospitals in the vicinity reported receiving multiple casualties, although official numbers remain unclear. The psychological impact on civilians is considerable, as many describe the explosions as deafening and terrifying. News agencies and social media platforms were quick to share videos showing black smoke plumes rising over the bridge and surrounding areas. Analysts are noting the precision of the strike, suggesting a well-planned operation rather than a random accident. Russian military units are reinforcing checkpoints and increasing surveillance, indicating concern over potential follow-up attacks. International media has highlighted the event as a significant moment in the ongoing conflict. Military strategists are debating whether this explosion signals a shift in tactics, including targeting key logistical infrastructure to disrupt enemy operations. Experts warn that similar operations could increase in frequency, emphasizing the importance of advanced detection and early warning systems. Civilians, meanwhile, remain anxious about the security of strategic areas in Crimea, with many questioning the effectiveness of current defense measures. The bridge, being a lifeline for the region, now faces unprecedented scrutiny, and repair work will be critical to restoring confidence and functionality. The destruction of a 500 million convoy is sending shockwaves through the military and political community. Analysts point out that the convoy carried essential weaponry, armored vehicles, and logistical support, making its loss particularly significant. Military strategists are recalculating supply lines, assessing how this event will impact upcoming operations in Crimea and beyond. The precision and timing of the explosion have led experts to suggest the use of advanced drone technology or coordinated sabotage. Satellite imagery has confirmed visible damage to the bridge's structure, with sections burned and vehicles scattered across multiple lanes. Local authorities are attempting to restore partial access for lighter traffic, but full restoration may take several days. Russian media has been cautious in reporting, highlighting repair efforts while minimizing the scale of the incident. In contrast, international media and analysts are emphasizing the strategic implications of the attack, noting the psychological impact on troops and civilians alike. Military experts are stressing the importance of securing all critical infrastructure moving forward, as attacks on supply routes can dramatically shift the balance in ongoing conflicts. Meanwhile, social media continues to circulate first-hand accounts, videos, and images of the explosion, capturing the chaotic scenes in real time. The international community is watching closely, with potential implications for broader geopolitical dynamics. Overall, the incident has underscored the vulnerability of even the most guarded strategic assets in wartime conditions. Military analysts are now assessing the long-term consequences of the bridge explosion. The Crimean Bridge has been a critical lifeline for Russia, enabling the transport of fuel, ammunition, and reinforcements. Its partial damage could create delays and bottlenecks in military operations. Engineers are working around the clock to repair structural damage, but the blast has weakened key support beams, making the bridge unsafe for heavy traffic. Some experts suggest that temporary bypasses or alternate routes may need to be established to prevent operational paralysis. The explosion also raises questions about intelligence and security failures. How a convoy of such value was struck without prior detection is being debated by military specialists. Social media posts from civilians and observers are being analyzed to determine the origin of the strike. The psychological impact is considerable, both for military personnel and the local population. Russian officials are reportedly investigating every angle to prevent further incidents. International observers are noting that attacks on critical infrastructure have become a more prominent strategy in modern warfare. The incident is a reminder that logistical lines are as much a target as frontline units. Analysts predict that this explosion could influence both military tactics and the broader conflict strategy. For now, repair teams and security forces remain on high alert, ensuring that the bridge does not face additional threats as the situation develops further. The broader implications of this explosion are now being analyzed. Experts say that the strike not only affects military logistics, but also sends a strong psychological message. Troops and commanders alike must now consider the possibility that even well-defended infrastructure is vulnerable. The timing of the attack is critical, as it coincides with the movement of key armored divisions. This event could temporarily hinder operational plans, giving opposing forces a tactical advantage. Drone footage and satellite images have become central to the investigation, helping analysts understand how the explosion was carried out. Meanwhile, emergency response and military units continue to secure the area. Civilians have been warned to avoid the site due to lingering hazards such as fires, smoke, and debris. Social media continues to amplify the visuals, drawing global attention to the severity of the strike. Analysts suggest that Russia may increase defensive measures along all key routes, but this incident highlights the difficulty of fully protecting such infrastructure. Some experts speculate that the attack was intended to demonstrate technological and tactical capabilities, showing that high-value military targets can be neutralized with precision. The explosion has also raised discussions on contingency planning, alternate routes, and reinforcement strategies. For now, both local and international observers are closely monitoring developments, with attention focused on potential escalations or retaliatory actions in the region. The response from Russian authorities has been swift but cautious. Military engineers and repair teams have been dispatched to the site, assessing structural damage and planning immediate restoration. Security forces have tightened checkpoints along the bridge and surrounding areas to prevent further attacks. The operation to repair and reopen the bridge is expected to take several days, depending on the extent of damage. Russian media coverage has focused on the efforts to restore traffic, while minimizing mention of casualties and destruction. Analysts note that controlling the narrative is a key component of maintaining morale among troops and civilians. Meanwhile, international observers continue to highlight the strategic significance of the attack. The explosion demonstrates the potential vulnerability of critical infrastructure in conflict zones. Military strategists are calling for enhanced surveillance, early warning systems, and improved logistics planning to prevent similar incidents in the future. Social media remains a powerful source of real-time updates, with videos showing smoke, fire, and damaged vehicles circulating widely. Civilians report panic and disruption as the blast caused immediate chaos in nearby towns and roads. The psychological and operational impact of this incident is expected to persist for days, potentially influencing both local and regional military strategies. Experts emphasize that swift repair and reinforced security measures are essential to prevent further escalation and ensure continued operational effectiveness. The international response to the explosion has been significant. Governments and media outlets around the world are closely monitoring the event, analyzing its implications for regional stability. Analysts emphasize that attacks on critical infrastructure can shift the dynamics of ongoing conflicts, disrupting supply lines and creating tactical advantages. The explosion on the Crimean Bridge is being studied as a potential example of precision strikes that can target strategic assets without direct confrontation. Military strategists are also considering the psychological effect on both military personnel and civilians, highlighting the importance of morale and perceived security. Social media posts and satellite imagery are helping international observers track the situation in real time, offering unprecedented insight into the immediate aftermath. Questions are being raised about the effectiveness of current defense measures, including surveillance, early warning systems, and checkpoint protocols. Experts predict that both sides in the conflict may adjust tactics in response, increasing attention to critical infrastructure and mobility corridors. The event also raises discussions about future military operations, potential escalations, and broader geopolitical consequences. As repair and reinforcement efforts continue, analysts are emphasizing the need for vigilance, planning, and strategic reassessment. For now, the focus remains on understanding the full scope of the damage, the potential disruption of operations, and the impact on both military and civilian populations in the region. As the situation at the Crimean Bridge develops, authorities are working tirelessly to restore stability. Engineers continue repairing damaged sections, while security forces maintain heightened vigilance to prevent further attacks. The psychological impact of the explosion remains a concern, as troops and civilians alike remain alert and cautious. Analysts emphasize that the destruction of a 500 million convoy demonstrates the vulnerability of critical infrastructure, prompting both sides to reassess tactics, logistics, and security measures. International attention remains high, with experts closely monitoring the region for any follow-up events. The explosion has not only disrupted supply lines, but has also sent a powerful message about the reach and precision of modern warfare. As emergency teams continue their work, the focus is on mitigating damage, restoring operations, and preventing additional incidents. The region remains tense, with residents and officials alike adapting to the sudden changes caused by this event. In conclusion, the explosion on the Crimean Bridge marks a significant moment in the ongoing conflict, highlighting vulnerabilities, strategic implications, and the critical importance of infrastructure security. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned for more updates as we follow this story closely.